Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and again I'm sharing with you a page I created using my brand new release with Funky Fossil. So this is available to pre-order on my website. Got to be honest, there's not many left, selling really quickly. So this is one of the pages from the large collage paper pack. Really bright and colourful. I'm going to be working in my small white Dina Wakley 6-inch journal, and I'm just going to cut this paper roughly to the size of my page, and then I'm just tearing across and I'm going to glue that in place. So my idea was to stick a couple of pieces of collage paper onto the background, just to give me that instant background, really, just to show you how easy it is to use these pages in their entirety. I have ripped across and left a bit of a gap in the middle, just as a bit of a contrast running across the page as well. So these collage pages in the large pack, the paper is a thinner weight than it is in the paper pack. The paper pack's great for making little mini books and things like that. It's a lot sturdier. But these pages are perfect for sticking straight into your journals and giving you that instant background with no hassle that you can then work with. So then I'm using some of the text stamps from the new stamp set, with the leaves on as well, and some sentiments. So yeah, I'm struggling to remember what that's called. How ridiculous. Grow Positive. That's the Grow Positive stamp set. So I'm just stamping some of these on just to give me some text on my background, just to start to break up some of that colour, really, and start to add some layers onto my page. Okay, so once I've done that, I'm then going in with some washi tape. This is from Wow Studio, and this washi tape is fabulous because it is a little bit translucent, so you stick it down, you can still see a little bit of the background through it, and I love the little dotty patterns that you can kind of add onto your page. I mean, this would work with any washi tape, really, one of your favourites if you've got one lurking that you've not used. And now I'm doing one of my favourite techniques. So this is the new stencil with my latest release that's got the mask as well as the stencil shapes, and it's fabulous because it gives you so many different options. So I'm doing a bit of masking here, bringing in the black gesso. I hope that doesn't stress any of you out. I know lots of you find it like really, what's she doing now with the black paint? But you know, it's quite striking when you can see that bright coloured background behind. So I'm just giving that mask a little wipe there because I want to flip it over so that it's pointing in a different direction, and just kind of adding in another a sort of like a bit of movement into the page, really, by pointing the branch a different way. It's quite fiddly holding these still. I mean, you can get a fixative a repositionable fixative that you can spray onto your stencils and stick them in place, and then they won't wibble around. That's a very technical term, isn't it? Wibble, yeah. But I can't be faffed with that, so just do my best to hold it as still as I can. So yes, I'm doing a bit of masking at the right hand side and the left hand side of my page. And then I'm just outlining those elements that I've put on the page using a Signo Uniball in white, just to help pop them out, bring them forward a little bit into the foreground. And just because it's something I like to do, I like to outline in a sort of rough, sketchy way. I think it just helps to draw attention to the thing that you've just added onto your page, just doing that little bit of outlining, adding that extra detail. So, yeah, this is where it went a bit weird. I don't really know why I did this, because I quite like it as it is now. And I did this bit thinking that this would go on a lot lighter, and it was actually really dark grey. And I really didn't like it. But do you know what? It doesn't matter. It is what it is. I still mostly like the page. I kind of wish this had been a lot lighter. If it had been white, I think it would have worked really nicely. But hey ho, it doesn't matter. So leaving it in to show you that, yeah, sometimes things don't work, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I'm still quite happy with the page, how it ended up. And it's all about playing and learning. And for me, at this time, it was about just playing about with my new release and seeing how things work together. So, and I also learned that, you know, if you're going to mask on top of masking, don't do it in a colour that's very, very similar to the masking that you've just done. Seems obvious now, doesn't it, really? But yeah. So here I'm stamped out a quote. I decided I'd got this piece of paper left on my desk, so I'm using it as a bit of a border. It's not quite big enough, so I'm just measuring it for one side, then I'm going to stick it onto the other side of the paper as well, like that. So it overlaps, and I can create a piece of paper big enough to make a border for that. So that looks quite nice, but it isn't a big enough contrast. So then I'm going to layer it again onto some white. So that will just help it pop out from the background and add that contrast with the darkness of the background that's going on. So I'm really loving this release, with particularly with the lettering, the font style that I've chose for the lettering for the stamps. It's one that I'm really, really liking, finding that I'm doing quite a lot of. So then I had more scraps of that purple, and I thought I would just pull that out into the rest of my journal page. So I made these little hearts, which I'm just sticking in place. They don't really show up particularly well with this camera light, but when you sort of see the journal page in real life, they do show up quite well. So then once they're dry, just outlining them with the Signo Uniball, you can see that just pulls them out again from the background, doesn't it? Makes them a bit more obvious. And that is it for this page. So aside from that weird grey blob that I masked over, I was really happy with how it worked out. I'm loving the colourful collage papers underneath, putting them on as a background. Means no hassle, no work. You just got your background done for you. So thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos where I'm sharing my new release with you. Yeah, I hope you found some inspiration as well, and I hope to see you again soon.